Hi guys, it's Ben back again for Sportsbet TV with your weekly roundup show. Unfortunately, I'm not in the lovely studio setting today, but let's bring to you the weekly roundup news. Let's start off with the fivefold that we brought to you on Friday. Unfortunately, it didn't come through, but we were so close yet again. 4 of the tips coming through, the last one letting us down in the last kick of the game as Sheffield United drew 1-1 at home to Millwall. Sheffield United looked a shoe-in to win that game, but Millwall literally equalised with the last kick of the game after Sheffield United went down to 10 men. But all other 4 tips flying through. Tottenham beating Huddersfield 4-0, Salford winning at home, both teams to score coming through in the last minute in the West Brom game. So yeah, very unfortunate not to win that bet, but we move on. Let's move on to the Championship, where we've had some twists and turns happening this weekend. First of all, the Championship kicked off with Norwich away to Wigan. Wigan close to the bottom, fighting for relegation, as Norwich are high-flying at the top. Now, the game finished 1-1, and if you didn't know, Norwich also dropped points midweek as they drew again. So they've drawn the last 2 games, Norwich, and they're starting to slip as Leeds have won the last 2 games. So they're really making ground on Norwich now. The gap, only 4 points between Leeds and Norwich, and only 2 points behind is Sheffield United. So things are really starting to hot up now in the Championship. And as I mentioned before, Sheffield United drawing 1-1, they'd hope their big rival Sheffield Wednesday could do them a job against Leeds, but unfortunately that wasn't the case as Leeds won 1-0. But West Brom are really starting to creep up as well as they beat high-flying Preston 4-1 at home at the Hawthorns. So as it stands, Norwich at the top with 86 points, Leeds second with 82 points, Sheffield United third with 79 points, and West Brom fourth with 73 points. Now, there's not a lot of games left, so things are really starting to hot up. Who do you think is going to win the Championship? Who do you think is going to get that second promotion spot? Comment below, let us know what you think. I'm going for Leeds to be promoted, and I think Norwich will just have enough to stay up there. Now, moving on to the Premier League, where we haven't had that many changes this weekend, but all shocks really, to be honest, as Liverpool beat Chelsea 2-0, which was probably the game of the weekend. No repetition of the Eden Hazard magic that we saw in the Carabao Cup earlier on this season at Anfield. As Man City, they won their away game at Palace. Tottenham carried on their scintillating form at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with a 4-0 win against Huddersfield, with Lucas Moura scoring a hat-trick. And Manchester United scraping past West Ham with a 2-1 win. And with the last game of the weekend was Arsenal away at Watford. Now, Arsenal really need to win this game. And the last game of the weekend in the Premier League was Watford at home to Arsenal. Now, everyone knows about Arsenal's away form this season. They've won 4 all season and they had 4 left to play. So this was a really important game for Arsenal. Watford had a man sent off early in the first 10 minutes, and straight after that Arsenal took the lead and the game ultimately finished 1-0. But Watford gave as good as they got, as they put in a really strong performance, just couldn't get that foot over the line, that ball over the line. So Arsenal ended up the game 1-0. And the top of the table stands Liverpool with 85 points, City with 83 points, Spurs with 67 points, Arsenal with 66 points, Chelsea level with 66 points, and Man United on 64 points. Now, Chelsea have played a game more and Liverpool have played a game more, with City and Spurs' game in hand coming against each other. So it's going to be a really interesting one. And we've got the Champions League to look forward to tonight as Barcelona face Manchester United at the Nou Camp with a 1-0 lead going into there. Juventus facing Ajax with 1-1 after the first leg. And tomorrow night we've got Manchester City against Tottenham at the Etihad, with a Tottenham having a 1-0 lead, and Liverpool against Porto. Now, who do you think is going to make the semi-finals of the Champions League? My tips for the semi-finalists is going to be Tottenham against Juventus and Barcelona against Liverpool. You heard it here first. Check back on Friday for our weekend tips, and see you next time.